You've learned the basics. You know what SQL injection is. You've heard of Metasploit. But today we're going deeper. We're going to walk through a real penetration testing methodology, the tools professionals actually use, and how to think like an attacker. This video is for CS students and self-learners who are ready to go beyond theory and start understanding how real-world ethical hacking works. Let's get into it. A lot of people confuse penetration testing with just running automated scans and calling it a day. That's not pen testing, that's vulnerability scanning. There's a big difference. Penetration testing is simulated cyber attack performance with explicit permission. The goal is to find and exploit vulnerabilities before malicious actors do. It follows a structured methodology, and every action taken must be documented. The 5 phases you'll hear about in every serious certification from CEH to OSCP are reconnaissance, information gathering, scanning and enumeration, mapping the attack surface, exploitation, gaining access, post-exploitation, maintaining access, pivoting, reporting, documenting findings clearly. We're going to walk through each of these today with real tools and real techniques. Recon is where most beginners rush and where professionals spend the most time. The more you know about the targets before you touch it, the more effective your attack will be. Passive recon means gathering information without ever touching the target's infrastructure. Tools for this include theHarvester, collects email, subdomains, IPs from public sources, Shodan, a search engine for internet-connected devices. You can find exposed cameras, routers, even industrial control systems. Search for an IP range and see what's running. Whois and DNS lookups, reveals domain ownership, registrar, info, name service. Google Docking, using advanced search operators like site, file type, and NURL, to find exposed files, or admin panels indexed by Google. Active recon involves direct interaction with the target. Nmap is your best friend here. A scan like Nmap -SV-SC-O gives you open ports, service versions, and OS detection. Netcat for banner grabbing, connecting directly to open ports to see what services announce themselves. Pro tip, always scope your recon carefully in a real engagement. Going outside your defined scope is a legal violation. Once you have a map of the targets, enumeration means pulling as much details as possible from those open services. For web applications, Gobuster or FUF, directory and file brute forcing, you're looking for hidden admin panels, backup files, config files. Nikto, automated web scanner that identifies misconfigurations, outdated software, dangerous HTTP methods. Burp suite, the industry standard for intercepting and manipulating HTTP traffic. Use it to analyze requests, find injection points, and test authentication. For network services, Enum for Linux. Enumerates information from Windows and Samba systems, including users, shares, and policies. SMB client, test for open SMB shares, which are a common lateral movement vector. If you find port 21 open, try anonymous FTP login. Still works more often than it should for Active Directory and environments. BloodHound with ShopHound visualizes AD relationships and attack paths, invaluable for understanding how an attacker could escalate privileges. Look for capable stable accounts, service accounts with SPNs that can be targeted for offline password cracking. This is the part everyone wants to jump to, but exploitation without solid recon is just noise. Now that you've mapped the surface, let's talk about how to breach it. SQL injection, still alive and dangerous, a classic payload, or 1 is equal sign, 1 dash dash. That's for vulnerable input fields. Use SQLMap to automate detection and extraction, but always understand what the tool is doing under the hood. Cross-site scripting, XSS, inject script alert XSS script to test for reflected or stored XSS. In real engagements, XSS can be weaponized to steal session cookies using tools like Beef, Browser Exploitation Framework. Server-side request forgery, SSRF, manipulate the server into making requests on your behalf, potentially reaching internal servers or cloud's metadata endpoints like AWS's. 169.254.169.2.54 network and service exploitation, Metasploit framework. If you're targeting a specific CVE, chances are there are a module for it. There's a module for it. Use search CVE number. Select the module, set your lhost, rhost, and payload, and run it. The most important skill with Metasploit isn't using it. It's knowing when to use it and understanding what the exploit actually does. Password attacks, Hydra for online brute force attacks against SSH, FTP, RDP, HTTP login forms. Hashcat or John the Ripper for offline hash cracking. Always use a good word list. Raku.txt is a classic starting point, but tools like CEWL let you generate custom word lists from the target's own website. You're in now. You're in. Now what? Post-exploitation is about understanding what you have and what you can reach from here. Privilege escalation. Once you have a low privilege shell, the next goal is root or system. On Linux, run sudo-l to check what commands you can run as sudo. Look for SUID binaries with find /-perm-u is =s-type f2 dev null. The site GTFO bins is a goldmine for exploiting these. On Windows, check whoami, priv, for dangerous privileges like SE impersonate privilege. This is often exploitable via juicy, potato, or print spoof attacks. Persistence in real red team engagements, testers demonstrate persistence by creating backdoors or scheduled tasks. On Linux, adding a clone, job, or SSH key. On Windows, modifying registry run keys or creating a new local admin. Pivoting. If you're inside the network and you want to reach a different subnet, you need to pivot. Tools like Chisel, shuttle, or Metasploit routing modules let you tunnel traffic through a compromised machine and reach internal hosts that aren't directly exposed. Data exfiltration simulated as identity-sensitive files, etc/shadow. Database configs, .env files with hard-coded credentials. In the test, you document these as findings. In the real world, attackers exfiltrate them. Here's something your bootcamp probably didn't tell you. The report is what the client actually pays for. A penetration test without documentation is just unauthorized hacking. A great report includes executive summary, non-technical overview of what was found and the business risk, scope and methodology, what was tested and how. Findings, each vulnerability listed with severity, critical high, medium, low, description, evidence, screenshots, payloads, and a clear remediation recommendation, risk rating, use a framework like CVSS to score findings objectively. The best pen tester and are excellent communicators, being able to explain a buffer overflow to a developer and explain its business impact to a CEO is what separates good testers from great ones. Everything in this video should only ever be practiced on systems you own or have explicit written permission to test. Here's where to do that legally. TryHackMe, beginner to advanced, guided rooms, great for structured learning. Hack the box, more realistic machine challenges, CTF style. VulnHub, downloadable vulnerable VMs you run locally. DVWA, damn vulnerable web application. Set up your own local web app to practice against. Pentester Lab, web application focused with free and pro content. For certifications to aim for, CompTIA Pentest Plus is a solid entry point. EGPT by eLearner security is beginner friendly and practical. And the gold standard for serious pen testers is OSCP. It's hard, it's hands-on, and it's respected everywhere in the industry. Ethical hacking is one of the most valuable and in-demand skills in cybersecurity right now. But it takes time, practice, and discipline. Focus on understanding why exploits work, not just how to run them. That mindset is what will make you genuinely dangerous in the best possible way. If you want to follow up video on any of these sections, whether that's a deep dive into Active Directory attacks, web app exploitation, or setting up your own home lab, drop it in the comments. Like and subscribe if this helped. and I'll see you in the next one.